Hey everyone, and welcome back. We're diving deep today into some really practical stuff I think you'll find super helpful. We've had a lot of you reach out wanting to know more about the best tech tools for ministry work.
Absolutely.
So today we're unpacking some amazing insights from ND Lama,
Oh, yeah. They've been in the field for over 18 years.
a true veteran. They've seen it all
Yeah.
from, the rise of social media to those like online learning platforms that exploded in popularity.
Definitely.
And they're not just talking about what's trendy or the latest gadget, but really focusing on what actually works.
Yeah. And what to avoid.
Oh, yeah. They actually call some of these popular programs digital demons
Mm.
because they might sound good on paper, but they could actually be holding your ministry back.
It's true. And what I love about ND Lama's approach is that they really get the challenges that ministries face.
Especially those working with limited resources, right?
Exactly. So they're all about finding solutions that are both practical and affordable.
With a big emphasis on free and open source alternatives, which is always a plus.
Sure.
So, are you ready to slay some digital demons?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
All right. The first one ND Lama calls out is Joomla for website building. Now, I know Joomla's been around for a while, and it's pretty well known.
Yeah.
But ND Lama found it really lacking when it came to plugins and themes.
And that can be a big problem, especially for ministries that need a website that can really grow with them.
Right, like you need to easily add things like donation forms.
Oh, for sure. And event calendars.
Yeah, or even like interactive Bible study resources, all that stuff.
Absolutely. If you're stuck with limited plugins and themes, your website's going to feel very cookie cutter.
And it might not truly connect with your audience.
Exactly.
So what's the alternative? What does ND Lama suggest?
Well, they're big fans of WordPress,
Of course.
which, as you know, is free.
And super versatile.
Yeah. And the beauty of WordPress is that it has this huge ecosystem of plugins and themes.
You can customize it to your heart's content.
Exactly. And integrate it with tons of other tools and services.
Yeah, that flexibility is key for ministries that are constantly,
Evolving.
evolving.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, so we've slain our first digital demon,
One down.
but ND Lama has another one, and this one surprised me. Microsoft Access for databases.
Interesting.
I know Access is pretty common, but ND Lama brings up some valid concerns.
Oh, I'm curious. What are there?
Well, their main issue is the lack of multi-user accessibility,
Oh, wow.
which for any ministry that relies on collaboration and sharing data can be a huge headache.
Yeah, imagine trying to manage your donor database.
Right. Or volunteer schedules.
Or event registrations.
with a tool that only lets one person in at a time.
That's a recipe for disaster.
Total chaos. So what does ND Lama recommend instead?
Well, they suggest looking into things like Google Sheets
Okay,
or Microsoft Excel or even MySQL,
gotcha.
which offer different levels of collaboration and scalability.
So Google Sheets, for example,
Yeah.
allows people to work on the same spreadsheet at the same time.
Real-time collaboration, it's amazing.
And you see each other's edits as they're happening.
Huge for teamwork and efficiency.
Plus, Google Sheets is free.
Always a bonus.
Okay, so another digital demon banished, and some great alternatives to consider. Now, let's move on to one that might hit close to home for a lot of churches and ministries. Moodle for learning management systems.
Right, because online platforms for education and discipleship programs are so important these days.
Absolutely. And ND Lama actually has some strong opinions about Moodle based on their own experience implementing it, even at a seminary.
Wow, that's quite the testing ground.
They found it really demanding when it comes to tech support,
I can imagine.
which can be a big drain on time and resources.
Yeah, when you're running an online course or program, the last thing you need is to be constantly troubleshooting tech issues.
Or trying to figure out how to use the platform itself.
Exactly.
And it's not just about fixing problems.
Right.
Think about all the time spent on things like creating user accounts,
Ugh, yes.
managing enrollment, setting up assignments, grading quizzes.
All that stuff. If the platform's not easy to use,
Yeah,
it can eat up so much time.
and take you away from the more important parts of your ministry.
For sure. Connecting with people, building relationships, that's the heart of it.
Right, and you don't want to get bogged down in admin tasks.
Yeah.
So what does ND Lama recommend instead of Moodle?
Well, they suggest checking out Canvas LMS
Okay,
or Neo LMS.
gotcha.
Canvas is a really robust platform used by lots of educational institutions.
Yeah, I've heard of that one.
It's known for being user-friendly and having a lot of features.
And Neo LMS.
Neo LMS is free and open source, which is great for smaller organizations.
So there are options for both big and small ministries.
Exactly.
All right, let's tackle one more digital demon before we move on to ND Lama's other recommendations. Last one on the list is Microsoft Teams for video conferencing.
Oh, interesting. We've all become very familiar with video conferencing the last few years.
Haven't we? But ND Llama seems to have some issues with Teams. They don't go into detail about their specific concerns, but they recommend sticking with the tried and true, Zoom or Google Meet.
Makes sense.
And I think their point is sometimes simple and reliable is better than a platform with tons of features you might not even use.
Oh, absolutely. We've all been there, struggling with a complicated interface or glitches during an important meeting.
The worst. Sometimes you just need tools that work consistently.
Exactly. And Zoom and Google Meet, both free and pretty easy to use, fit the bill.
So those are just a few of the digital demons ND Llama identifies, but they don't stop there. They offer a whole range of other tools and strategies that can make ministry work more efficient and impactful.
And that's where things get really exciting. We're going to dive into specific recommendations for things like school management systems, office packages, even mobile photo and video editing tools. Stay tuned.
I'm ready to level up my tech game. Let's go.
So moving on from those digital demons, ND Llama also has some great recommendations for other tools that can really boost efficiency for your ministry.
Yeah, like their suggestion for a school management system.
Right. The smart school management system.
It's a one-time purchase, too, which is appealing.
Definitely. Especially compared to those subscription services.
That nickel and dime you every month.
Exactly.
But what exactly does this system do?
Oh, it's a really comprehensive platform.
Okay.
Designed specifically for schools and educational institutions.
Gotcha.
And I can see it being so helpful for ministries that run their own schools or Sunday schools.
Right.
Or even adult education programs.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
It handles everything from student enrollment to attendance tracking.
Wow.
Managing grades, generating reports.
That sounds like a lifesaver.
It really is.
For anyone who's ever tried to manage all that manually.
Oh, tell me about it. I remember trying to keep track of attendance for our youth group.
Yeah.
Using spreadsheets.
Oh, no.
It was a nightmare.
I bet.
But having all that data in one system where you can easily access it, analyze it, use it to make informed decisions about your programs.
That's powerful.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Smart School's a paid option.
Right.
But ND Llama also has some great free alternatives.
Yes.
For things like office packages.
Like Google Workspace.
Okay.
Or LibreOffice.
I know a lot of ministries still use those older versions of Microsoft Office.
Yeah.
Which can get pricey to upgrade.
Oh, for sure.
But Google Workspace and LibreOffice, they're both free.
Yes.
And they have all the essentials.
Absolutely. Everything you need for documents, spreadsheets, presentations, you name it.
I've actually been using Google Workspace myself for a while.
Oh, nice.
And I love how smoothly it integrates with all my other Google stuff.
It's seamless.
And the collaboration features are so easy to use.
Yeah. Real-time collaboration is a game changer.
Huge.
And both Google Workspace and LibreOffice have great options for that.
Yeah, that's essential for ministry teams.
For sure, when everyone's working on projects together.
Makes a huge difference.
And here's another bonus with LibreOffice.
Okay.
It can actually open and edit Microsoft Office files.
Whoa. That's super helpful.
So you don't have to worry about compatibility issues.
Nice. So we've got school management and office packages covered.
We do.
What else does ND Llama recommend?
Well, they also talk about desktop publishing.
Okay.
And recommend a free alternative to InDesign.
Oh, yeah. What is it?
It's called Scribus.
Scribus, okay.
It's a powerful tool for creating professional-looking layouts.
For things like newsletters.
Yes, and brochures, even books.
Now, I'm not a graphic designer by any means, but I've heard good things about Scribus.
It's great.
Seems like a great option for ministries that want to create high-quality printed materials without spending a fortune.
Exactly. And that's not all.
Uh-oh.
ND Llama also recommends GIMP for photo editing.
Okay.
It's a free alternative to Photoshop.
Oh, wow.
And Inkscape for designing, which is a free alternative to CorelDRAW.
So basically, they're saying you don't have to shell out for expensive software to have a powerful and efficient text setup?
Not at all. There are great free options out there.
It's like they've given us the blueprint for a lean, mean ministry machine.
Exactly.
And they even go beyond just software.
They do.
And dive into mobile photo and video editing.
That's right. They recognize that most of us have incredibly powerful tools right in our pocket.
Our smartphones.
Exactly.
And they encourage us to use them to their full potential for ministry work.
It's a great point. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that you need fancy equipment and expensive software to create high-quality content.
Right.
But ND Llama reminds us that we can achieve amazing results with the tools we already have.
Love that.
And they give some really specific recommendations for mobile apps.
Oh, yeah.
That can really enhance your workflow.
Really?
They start with photo editing.
Okay.
And recommend a free app called Snapseed.
Snapseed, I've heard of that.
It's available for both Apple and Android.
Nice.
It's super user-friendly.
Okay.
So it's easy to pick up even if you're not a tech whiz.
I appreciate that.
But don't let the simplicity fool you. It's packed with powerful features.
Like what?
Well, you can do everything from basic cropping and color correction
Okay.
to more advanced things like selective editing.
Oh, wow.
And perspective correction.
That's impressive for a free app.
It really is.
I'm definitely going to check it out.
You should.
And speaking of free apps, what about video editing?
Oh, yeah. ND Llama has recommendations for that, too.
Lay it on me.
So for iPhone users,
Yeah.
they recommend iMovie,
Okay.
which comes pre-installed on most iPhones.
Yeah.
And offers a good set of editing features for basic video creation.
I've actually used iMovie before
Oh, nice.
to create a short promo video for our church's annual picnic.
Cool.
It was surprisingly easy to use.
It is.
I was able to add music, transitions, even some simple titles.
It's a great tool for beginners who want to get started with video editing.
Right.
Without having to learn a whole complicated software program.
Exactly. But what if you want to do something a bit more advanced?
Well, for those who are looking for more features and flexibility,
Okay.
ND Llama recommends CapCut,
Okay, CapCut.
which is free
Nice.
and available for both iPhone and Android.
Even better.
Yeah. CapCut allows for multi-layer editing,
Multi-layer.
which
Right.
means you can layer different video clips,
Gotcha.
images, audio tracks on top of each other.
Oh, wow.
And you can add special effects, transitions, text overlays,
Cool.
even adjust the speed of your clips.
Now that sounds pretty advanced for a mobile app.
It is.
I'm starting to see why ND Llama is such a big fan of using smartphones for content creation.
Right. The possibilities are amazing.
They really are. So we've got iMovie and CapCut for free.
Yes.
Any paid mobile editing apps they recommend?
Yes, if you're ready to level up and invest a bit more,
Okay.
they suggest VideoLeap or LumaFusion.
All right, I'll write those down.
Both incredibly powerful apps
Yeah.
with features comparable to some desktop video editing software.
That's amazing. Mobile apps have come so far.
They really have.
I'm definitely going to have to explore some of these.
You should.
But even with the best editing apps, you still need good audio
Oh,
to
absolutely.
make professional-looking videos.
You can have the most visually stunning video,
Yeah,
but if the audio's bad, it's going to ruin the whole thing.
totally. So does ND Llama have any recommendations for audio equipment?
They do. They recommend a simple but effective solution.
Okay.
The Rode SmartLav Plus.
Oh, a lavalier mic.
Exactly.
I've seen those used by news reporters and YouTubers.
They're great for capturing clear audio,
Uh-huh.
especially in noisy environments.
Right, because it's right there on your shirt.
Yeah, you just clip it to your collar,
Okay.
plug it into your phone, and you're good to go.
That's easy.
And it's relatively affordable, too.
Plus, for longer recordings or interviews
Yeah.
where you need more flexibility,
Uh-huh.
they suggest the Rode SC1 TRRS extension cable.
So you can move around more freely.
That's helpful.
It is.
Now, what about those situations where you need to record audio from multiple people?
Like an interview or panel discussion.
Yeah.
Well, for that, ND Llama recommends the DJI Mic 2.
Okay.
It's a dual microphone system.
So 2 mics.
Yes. Specifically designed for capturing high-quality audio from 2 sources at the same time.
That's fantastic for anyone doing interviews or podcasts, even recording presentations with multiple speakers.
It's a really versatile piece of equipment.
And all of these audio recommendations are pretty affordable and portable,
Yes.
which I love,
It goes right along with ND Llama's whole philosophy.
of finding practical and accessible tech solutions for ministries.
Exactly.
It's really impressive how ND Llama has covered such a range of tools and tips,
They have.
all with the goal of making ministry work more efficient and effective.
And it's clear they've put a lot of thought into these recommendations, drawing on their years of experience in the field.
What stands out to you as particularly valuable?
Good question.
From their insights, I mean.
I think it's their emphasis on choosing the right tools for the right job
Okay.
and not being afraid to explore alternatives,
Yeah.
even if it means breaking away from those familiar programs we're used to.
It's easy to get stuck in our routines.
It is. We use the same tools because we're comfortable with them.
But as ND Llama's shown us,
Yeah,
there might be much better options out there.
for sure.
that can save us time, money, and frustration.
Absolutely.
And sometimes those solutions are even free and open source.
Which is amazing.
I think that's a key takeaway for our listeners.
What is it?
Tech efficiency doesn't have to be complicated or expensive.
Right.
It's about finding the right tools that fit your needs
Mm-hmm.
and budget,
Yes.
and then using them in a way that streamlines your workflow,
Makes you more effective.
amplifies your ministry's impact.
Exactly.
And sometimes
Yeah.
the most powerful tools are the ones we already have,
Right in our pockets.
our smartphones.
Ah.
So I'm inspired, ready to explore those free and open source options
You too.
and embrace the power of my smartphone.
It's amazing what they can do.
All right, so let's get back to this whole idea of using smartphones for ministry work. I'll be honest, I've been guilty of underestimating what these things can actually do.
It's easy to do, right? I mean, you think of them for, social media, texting.
Yeah.
But as Andy Lama points out, they've really become these incredibly versatile tools.
Mini production studios, basically.
Totally. And they're always with us, which is huge for busy ministry leaders who are, constantly on the go.
Always running around.
Yeah.
Okay, so Andy Lama recommends this free app called Snapseed for photo editing. Have you ever used Snapseed?
Yeah, I have. And it's amazing how much you can do with it.
Really?
It's got this clean, intuitive interface, super easy to navigate, even if you're not like a tech person.
And the features are pretty powerful.
Oh, absolutely. You can adjust like everything. Brightness, contrast, saturation, sharpness, the whole works.
So it's not just about slapping on a filter and calling it a day.
No, you can really fine-tune your photos, get some professional-looking results.
Nice. What's your favorite feature?
That's a tough one. But I really love the selective editing tool.
What's that?
It lets you adjust specific areas of your photo without affecting the rest of the image.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so like say you have a portrait and someone's face is a little dark, you can brighten it up without overexposing the background.
Ah, makes sense. That's so helpful for getting those balanced and polished-looking pictures.
Definitely. And Andy Lama actually links to some YouTube tutorials that walk you through the different features.
I love a good visual tutorial.
Me too. They make learning new tech stuff so much easier.
For sure. Okay, so Snapseed for photos. What about video editing? I know Andy Lama suggests both free and paid mobile apps, right?
Yeah. They recommend iMovie for iPhone users. It comes pre-installed on most iPhones, I think.
Right.
It's a great starting point for learning the basics of video editing. You can trim clips, add transitions, put in music, sound effects, all that good stuff.
Yeah, iMovie's definitely a solid option for creating those quick and simple videos. But what if you want to get a little fancier?
Well, if you're looking for something with more features, more flexibility, Andy Lama recommends CapCut.
CapCut, okay.
It's free and available for both iPhone and Android, which is awesome.
Nice. Cross-platform, I like it. What makes it so special?
Well, it allows for multi-layer editing.
Multi-layer, what's that mean exactly?
It means you can stack different video clips, images, audio tracks on top of each other.
Oh, wow.
So you can do things like split screen effects, picture-in-picture. You can even add those animated text graphics.
Oh, it's getting pretty fancy.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful. Plus, it comes with a library of royalty-free music and sound effects you can use. And of course, it has tons of transitions and special effects to make your videos look even better.
It's amazing what you can do with just your phone and a free app these days.
I know, right?
Mm.
But if you are ready to invest a little bit more, Andy Lama also suggests Video Leap or LumaFusion.
Those are paid apps.
Yeah, but they're incredibly powerful, like almost desktop-level video editing software.
Wow. So you can do like color grading, keyframing, even motion tracking.
Exactly. Pretty impressive stuff.
No kidding. I'm going to have to check some of these out. But even with all the fancy editing, good audio is still key, right?
Oh, absolutely. You can have the best editing in the world, but if your audio is terrible, people aren't going to watch.
It's so distracting. Yeah. So what does Andy Lama recommend for audio gear?
They suggest the Rode SmartLav Plus Day. It's a lavalier microphone that clips onto your shirt.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those before.
Super simple, but makes a huge difference in your audio quality.
Way better than using your phone's built-in mic, I bet.
Oh, for sure. Especially for interviews, presentations, anything where you need clear audio. And if you need more flexibility, like for longer recordings, they suggest pairing it with the Rode SC1 TRRS extension cable.
Gives you a little more room to move around.
Exactly. And for those times when you need to record two people at once, like for an interview or panel discussion, Andy Lama recommends the DJI Mic 2.
Oh, cool. So it's a two-microphone system.
Yeah. Designed for capturing high-quality audio from two sources at the same time.
That's a great tool to have. It's amazing how Indy Lama has thought of everything,
I know. It's like they've put together the ultimate tech toolkit for ministries.
all to help us be more efficient and effective. And they're really focused on accessibility too, right?
Yeah, they're not suggesting crazy expensive equipment, just practical, affordable solutions.
Exactly. And I think that's a really important message for everyone. Tech efficiency doesn't have to be complicated or break the bank.
It's all about finding what works for your needs, and your budget.
So well said. Well, I don't know about you, but I feel inspired.
Me too. Ready to explore those free and open source options, embrace the power of my smartphone.
It's amazing what we can do with the tech we already have, right?
Absolutely.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. We hope you found it helpful. Until next time, keep diving deep.